The Palestinians have been so utterly dehumanized that even people who have made a career out of being rational, logical, that's literally the their own self-image that they put out into the world intentionally to be rational, logical, to not be drawn into a tribalistic mindset for the sake of it. The Palestinians have been so dehumanized that these people, I'm going to give you an example. The Sam Harris of the world are literally, knowingly, I believe, knowingly and deceptively lying to you when they say that there is no genocide happening in Gaza, only by mere virtue of the fact that these people have let's say a critical relationship with Islam, which is fine enough. You can criticize religion, you can criticize the dogmatism of religion, but to not be unable to separate religion from people, the lifeblood, the living, breathing people who simply happen to be born of a religion or happen to be born in a geographical area, it requires an immense level of dishonesty, of delusion. But I don't think the Sam Harris of the world, I don't think they are, they're delusional in the same way that they're in a way that they're not aware of. I believe that these people are intentionally lying to you when they they broadcast on them, on their podcasts, that there is no genocide, that Israel is doing its best to root out the terrorists. I think that the Sam Harris of the world, this also includes, Dave Rubin, the Ben Shapiro's. I believe that their proximity to Islam, of course, being completely and antagonistic to it, but also their proximity to Israel, whether they are born into Judaism or they're born into a kind of a Zionist mentality, makes it so that the conclusion is that they are in effect racist against people of this geographical area, of this particular religion, of and are unable to separate this religion from the people, and in effect are being racist. This is very clear to me because there is mountains upon mountains of evidence that what's happening in Gaza is not a collateral damage. Collateral damage would not mean the complete, flattening of towns for miles upon end. That is not collateral damage. This is a systematic effort to destroy a people. Now, to destroy a people, you do not have to kill every single individual of this people. Just as, what happened in the Holocaust. In the Holocaust, not every single Jewish person was killed, obviously, because they're survivors. Ashkenazi survivors, people who were able to, for example, escape, people who were working the death camps but not killed immediately, people who were, just employed by the Third Reich to act as a way to, break up the population, what they call capos, But clearly, the effort was to destroy the people as a functional, as a as a dignified group of people, and to kill as many as possible for a stated goal. So genocide doesn't necessarily mean that the end is that you're killing everyone of that tribe. Genocide is merely a tool in order to achieve a political, military end. Genocide is for example, in the Third Reich, genocide was used as a tool to achieve this perfect utopia of a Aryan vision of a pure state of people. The end wasn't to commit genocide. Genocide is merely the tool to achieve this utopia. Similarly, in Israel, genocide is the tool currently being used in order to maintain this ethno-state of Israel, and to, of course, the elephant, to completely whitewash the elephant in the room, to ensure that the elephant in the room does not get noticed, that there are people indigenous to the land who are displaced from the land, who are forced into this refugee camp of Gaza, forced into just poverty, essentially, by mere virtue of the fact that Israel was based on ethnic cleansing of now genocide, because it was based on an escape from Europe, the anti-Semitism of Europe, in order for these political Zionists to have their own land. They literally needed to kick the people out from the land that were living there, of the people that were living there. And in order for them to do that, they need to see them as lesser beings. So anyone who feels very strongly about this Zionist entity has to be racist from the onset. And furthermore, the evidence, the intent of genocide is very much out there. It's evidenced. Hundreds of human rights organizations have concluded that this is a genocide. But the Sam Harrises of the world, I've said in the past that Sam Harris is, in my opinion, a racist psychopath. But I have to add into the mix that Sam Harris is also a dishonest liar. Because if you have the rational faculties in order to differentiate, basic, you can delve into the nuances of scripture, and you can differentiate between different verses and the contradiction within. You can see very clearly the video, the photos, the quotations that Amalek, the Palestinians are the Amalek, or that Herzog said that there are no innocent Palestinians there. Then you can see you can see very clearly the bigger picture here. It's so obvious that he's lying. Anyways, for more videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. That'd be very much appreciated. Thank you.